Yeah, and then still the federal government talking about revisiting, because we got a report that they are also going to charge El-Rufai in respect of the killing of the social media influencer, Dadieta. You have some, knowledge about the crisis. And do you think El-Rufai will escape that also?
Well, to me, that case of Dadieta is something that I think it has been investigated earlier on. But I don't know why both the police or the federal government didn't do, and the state government didn't do anything about it long ago. It should have been a case that has already been exhausted to whatever level, because the issue is something that has happened since 2019, I think.
2021.
Yes. So you see, why should this investigation be allowed to just sleep or linger all to this time? It should have been exhausted at all levels, so that people will know who is behind the disappearance of this man called Dadieta. As El-Rufai claims that he's more a critic of Kano State government than his government. Investigation can reveal all these things.
But you know, people who have been following, who have been deciding about it, said he was actually economical with the truth. Yes.
It's possible. He can be. Politicians can do that. You understand? There are a lot of cases like this that went to sleep without punishing anybody. We have Bola Ige's case. We have Harry Marshall's case. You understand? Many of them are there, which up till today, with judgment, who are those persons that were dealt with? Nobody. You understand? So the Dadieta issue also is something that both the Nigerian police, they have to come with an investigative report on why this case is either on El-Rufai or on anybody. You understand? Because, in politics, what happens was there's struggle in Nigerian politics. We cannot hide that one. It's clear everywhere we can see, especially during election. And the people in government doesn't want opposition. They doesn't want people that will be exposing what they are doing, either wrong or right. You understand? So in that case, that's where people like Dadieta, they might not escape this kind of assassinations. Sometimes they be the
or disappearance, because the family and many Nigerians are hopeful that maybe he was kept somewhere, and maybe after a diligent investigation and all that, he might likely be found. Yes.
Well, fine, let it be. But how long? This is El-Rufai left office since when? He left office in 2023. Even if it is El-Rufai that is holding him, why can't they release this man? Why? What did he did? In fact, what did El-Rufai doesn't want about Dadieta that he's exposing? He said he's exposed more of Gandujas because he put videos of his dollar cases and whatever. All these things. Let the investigation reveal whoever was wrong or right. Let it be revealed, so that person should be punished. I think that should be law. There's a law. When you kill, or you only disappear somebody, especially him. Maybe he was subjected to a kind of hardship. He was taken away from his family. I think this is very painful, really. If it's Dadieta, that is maybe because of he's putting things on social media. He's not the only one. Many Nigerians are doing it. So why should Dadieta disappear just because of he exposed things? If you are right, if he exposed, make your boys to counter it. If he made false claims, you understand? Now you can ask your social media handles to tackle it. Social media. So why should it be that
go to descend to be the level of taking somebody?
I think our politicians this time around they need to learn a lesson from this. There is no need for you to disappear someone or to just hire assassins to kill someone. No need for it. Whatever position you occupy today, tomorrow you might not be there. What about if it now discovered that you are behind somebody's disappearance, or you are behind abduction of someone? You kept in for long of all these years. Law will be low on you.
Okay. Now, still talking about the charges by the DSS. They have taken him to a high court in Abuja in count 1. The federal government alleges the admission amounts to an offense contrary to and punishable under Section 12, subsection 1 of the Cyber Crimes Prohibition and Prevention Amendment Act 2024. They already have what they will tie El-Rufai with. And then count 2 alleges that El-Rufai stated during the same interview that he knew and related with individuals who unlawfully intercepted Ribadu's phone communications but failed to report them to relevant security agencies, contrary to Section 27B of the Cyber Crimes Amendment Act. The third count also claimed that El-Rufai and others still at large sometime in 2026 in Abuja used technical equipment or systems to unlawfully intercept the National Security Advisor's phone communications, an act said to have compromised public safety and national security, contrary to Section 131, subsection 2 of the Nigeria Communications Act 2003. I want us to start with the third one.
Yeah.
Is it possible, even though you are not, an engineer in that regard, but is it possible for individuals to hack into other people's communication? Of course, we know some people who are, savvy, they can, take over your WhatsApp and all that. But a situation whereby a third party or a group will not have a way of intercepting the communication I'm having with you via the telephone. Do you think it's possible?
Yeah, Hamza, it's very much possible. We're in 21st century, and this is AI era, you understand? So it's very much possible.
So somebody will ask the AI to now give him the technology to...
The issue is there are people that are expertise in cybercrime. Whatever you want, they can do it for you. That's it. So you don't forget, even in developed countries, there were several such cases of this. Forget this man that ran to Sweden from US. What was his name?
Assange or
Yes, Assange. So is it Assange or Assange? So what about the WikiLeaks? So we have them even too in Africa. In Nigeria too, we have them. We have a lot of them that they can hack into whoever's phones. You understand? That's why there's especially in the foresters, ministers, or whatever, or in private organizations, you see that they used to have what they call cyber security departments, because they have to protect their data. They have to protect their lines, their telephones, and all what have you. So it's very, very much possible. I'm not an engineer. Yes, I don't know about all these.
But even on the surface, don't you think that we are then in trouble if the telephone conversation of the National Security Advisor will be intercepted by a group of individuals? Because if you are talking about security, not only of the president, but the nation is, to greater extent, is being coordinated at the office of the National Security Advisor. Are we not in trouble?
We are. We are definitely in trouble. If it's a big threat to the national security, especially at this time where we're having issues of national insecurity all over the country, banditry, kidnappings, and whatever. It shouldn't happen this way. Until proven, because El-Rufai can, as you said, he can, because of political experience, he can just decide to mention that statement.
Even if it were, because there is just a text message here, somebody saying he strongly believes that El-Rufai only made the allegation to whip up sentiments and then to cause confusion within the government side.
Yes, I believe also that. I believe until proven, but I believe El-Rufai knew that he wanted to create a kind of drama, a scenario whereby the attention of Nigerians will go towards him. This is what he's saying. This is politics. He's in opposition. So with this now, being his arrest, being his clash between supporters and whatever, Nigerians will start to sympathize with him. So many Nigerians, especially in rural areas and whatever, they might not know the depth, understand, of what is happening or what he did all they see was they will be hearing that an opposition man was detained, an opposition man was questioned, and so on and so forth. So they might not go deep to know the crime he committed, for example. But whatever that happens, this is a threat to national security.
But another person who, he said anonymously, he said it's like the federal government, has fallen into El-Rufai's trap by even admitting and agreeing, to say that El-Rufai and other individuals use certain equipment, technical equipment or systems to unlawfully intercept the national security advisors' phone communication. And then they said that has compromised public safety and all that. He believes that it's like the government lawyers did not put their acts together. I'm not a lawyer. Somebody is just claiming this here. Yes. That they should have done more work here, because by the time now, if El-Rufai said he only said it for saying sake, what will the government do now? Will they back out from the claim?
Yeah, possibly. But one thing I wanted us to look into was that there's a ministry or an agency called NCC, which is it is duty to protect such kind of things. I think they have department, they have all the equipment to even detect whether this has happened and how. Yes, whether it has happened or not. You understand? They have all those equipments. I know federal government has been spending a lot of money over that in NCC there. Within the agency there. So let the NCC come up with all the details and tell Nigerians whether this thing is true or not. You understand? And it should be real, as in real time, not only on the election time, but should be clearly stated. If El-Rufai and others, as claimed, has done this act of cybercrime. But I know NCC, they have all those equipment.
But will they compel him to now divulge his source of information? Because what I heard is that there is a law that also, protects third-party information like this.
Yeah, they can. He can, I think...
maybe they can compel him.
According to the law, I don't know, all these things, law applies. So if there were room for him to be compelled to say, okay, yes, you have to bring the persons, you have to bring the equipment that you used.
Since it's a crime against the state.
Yes, it's a crime against it. And that will nail him, definitely, for him to, if all these exhibits were given, and those people that he connived with to hack or to wiretap the NSS phone calls, they can even, if allowed, these people can wiretap president's phone. You understand? So not only the service
because if the NSA cannot escape, it is very unlikely for the president to also escape.
And don't forget, we have security chiefs who are at the top notch of the main security design, the architecture of how this security works. This is a very serious issue that has to be handled.
So now, putting all of this, Abdul'aziz, together, can we say Nigeria is now on overdrive? Because this is February. Next election will be February next year. We have 12 months to go to the polls. But it appears as if elections will be held in the next couple of weeks, going by the way, those in the executive, the legislature, and to some extent, even the judiciary, they have all shifted their attention as to how to hold the election and all that. Can we say Nigerians have seen anything positive that they can brag and say, okay, between May 29, 2023 and now, these are tangible things that we have benefited from this set of leaders?
To me, I don't think there's any positivity on this matter, because we should have centered towards issues of national development rather than talking about these issues of or hitting up the polity by both the opposition and the ruling party. We should have centered towards development. There were a lot of issues in Nigeria. For example, we are having fire-gutted Kano market.
Yes.
There were a lot of things happening in Nigeria. Insecurity. Look at Kwara State now. the insurgency is advancing toward those sides. We should be focusing on how to tackle all these problems. Election is coming. If this insecurity was not curtailed in some areas, there were tendencies that some people will be disenfranchised because they will not be allowed to.
But you know, they always have their way. I recall, you know, 2011, you know, in Borno, when large swaths of territory under the, I mean, control of the Boko Haram, and the federal government realized that a lot of votes are domiciled in that axis, and they extended the election by 6 weeks. The president, Jonathan, then also visited Maiduguri. Within that 6 weeks and all that, they procured heavy equipment, you know, brought them in, and then now they recovered a lot of territory from Adamawa, around Muibi, you know, Borno, up to northern Borno and all that. And then elections were held, even though most of the people were at the IDP camps. Are we maybe likely to see a replica of that kind of, I mean, approach by the government while people are being killed as, you know, we move on now?
I think this security issue should go beyond the election only. We should try and ensure that security, national security, is our number one priority, not only because of election. People that were displaced for years, you will now secure their security just because of election. It didn't work in developed countries. We have to develop. Nigeria has to go beyond this kind of situation whereby it's because I need your vote.
That is when I will secure you.
I will secure you. It doesn't work. We shouldn't be centered to.
But I think this is where we are. It's like we have even moved on from what happened in Uro community in Kwara, even though the terrorists just at the weekend shot video, you know, with around over 170 people, and still at the weekend in Niger. I mean, a whole community was sacked. People have been killed. You also mentioned Kano, you know, a terrible inferno. Of course, the media are cutting 5 billion, but then the latest information showed that the people are counting, you know, billions. I mean, dozens of billions.
If not
lost.
If not
that is it. In fact, somebody claimed that in his shop only, you know, cash and property worth over 15 billion have been lost. But then here we are. Of course, the Vice President was in Kano today, but then from the market, they proceeded to grand reception of the governor. So our politicians detach from reality, and then maybe they only pretend that, okay, we are with you. However, they have moved on, trying to now see how they can gather votes for 2027.
Yeah. For example, if we would just talk about maybe the Kano issue. You see, I'm a trader. I trade in the market, and always when I see that there is negligence from our own part to the traders when it comes to this fire in Pano, we flame negligence when it comes to this. This fire has been happening all over. It happens here, it happens there. So what measures did we put in place to protect our properties, to protect our businesses? We don't. We don't do insurance.
But I think that is why you have government, because government, if people are lawless,
Hamza,
they build shops, they put containers and all that on the way. The sanctity of places of trading, just as places of worship, you know, lies with the government. Government can say, no, this is not possible.
Yeah, but when the government didn't say not possible, what do? You protect yourself too. You put things in place to protect your businesses. What I'm talking here is, we don't do insurance. For example, somebody claiming that he has goodwill 15 billion in only his shop, which is possible, and he doesn't have insurance. Possibly, go and ask him. Likely he doesn't insure anything, either the property itself or what the goods he's bringing.
So he too should be blamed.
Yes, he should be. And apart from the insurance, I'm not talking only about insurance. You go to all this market, you find that they don't put fire service equipment, no provision for fire service equipment in all this market, including FCT here too. It's only God that is protecting us. Our markets are very much vulnerable to this fire. It's only God that is protecting us. But it happens in Karu, it happens in many places here in Abuja.
Okay, then still not to veer off the track completely. I'm still worried that, for instance, the El-Rufai, it's like the DSS, the EFCC, probably ICPC, and the police, they are all in agreement that, okay, this is a big catch, which, we didn't see before. Is El-Rufai so strong or so problematic that they have to now put their weight together in order to subdue him?
Yeah, we cannot dispute that El-Rufai is a political icon in Nigeria. He's more than, as Baba Ahmed said, he's more than just an individual like me and you, or let me say myself. Many Nigerians listen to him, you understand? He's educated, he's not an illiterate person, he knows his ways, you understand? So definitely, they couldn't see him as a big catch. I told you, he's now in opposition, despite the fact
he can cause problem for them.
Yeah, of course. Opposition is opposition.
But now, don't you think the government is in actually, a difficult situation? Leaving him to be moving freely could be problematic, because who knows what he will say tomorrow. And as we speak, not to our knowledge, whether he has been released maybe by the EFCC or DSS, or he will sleep in their custody, which is itself another problem. What is the way out?
Yeah, the federal government and the security agencies with the law PIMs, they can, or the federal government judiciary, they have to look into all this, you understand? What is the way out, for example, about El-Rufai?
Is it to grant him bail?
Yeah,
or to extend the charges?
Since they're going to take the matter to court, he may likely be granted bail. He can go on bail, then the court case can continue. You know, but all these things, what I see is there's no need to make the matter longer or bigger. El-Rufai was an APC man before, and I'm very much sure even now, if Tinubu, if Nuhur Badu and others can sit with him, I don't lose hope that El-Rufai, because
Are you saying what he's doing is tantrums, because he is out of the equation?
Yes, that's it. Because he was pushed out.
Then meaning what he's doing is not for the masses. It's self-serving.
Yeah.
Because if you think that by the time NSA president and all that, they call him to a round table, that he will now, get back on track. Now, does he deserve the sympathy of Nigerians?
Yeah, it depends. Nigerians can decide to sympathize with him or not. But one thing for sure is our politicians, majority of them, what they do is, as you said, self-serving. Majority. I'm not saying all, but there are many of them. They have elements of doing
so finally, what is the lesson for Nigerians in this fight? What should Nigerians learn?
Well, Nigerians need to learn that always, the number one thing, especially for like we people that are amateur politicians, that they used to tell us that there's no permanent enemy, no permanent brain in politics. You understand? So El-Rufai and co, they can mend pencils and look at this matter together.
So Nigerians should seek for good governance.
What I want for the federal government, El-Rufai and others to look into, the problem Nigeria is facing is not about this heating of the polity. We are facing insecurity.
So they should face it and resolve it.
Yes, we are facing unemployment.
All right, Abdul'aziz, we have more time, but definitely we will have more opportunities to discuss some of these issues. In the meantime, we thank you very much for coming to the program.
Thank you very much.
We have exhausted the whole time. And viewers, we've been with Abdul'aziz Idris, a public affairs analyst. Of course, at the beginning of the program, we made mention that we will have Haliru Imam, chairman of the Arewa community in Rivers State, to discuss the disturbing scenario there, tagged Aboki must go, unfortunately. But then our team tried as much as they could to hook up with Haliru via Zoom to no avail. And I want to use this opportunity to sincerely apologize for our inability to discuss that aspect in the program. But we hope we'll do it in the coming days. In the meantime, it's a wrap on today's package of Daily Politics. Join us tomorrow for another interesting edition of the program. From here, I'm Hamza Idris. Good night.